What leadership skills are required for success in this hybrid work environment? This is the research came out of it in terms of the new leadership competencies that are rising in importance, right? So the first set are interpersonal skills like emotional intelligence. Again, that came up, empathy, compassion, self-awareness. The next one is giving productive coaching and feedback. So being able to leverage technologies to have productive conversations, fostering an inclusive environment. If we move on, just some of the mindsets, coaching with empathy and compassion. So again, if we look up top, building that emotional intelligence, what are we going to do with it? We're going to coach with empathy and compassion. So we have to be thoughtful about checking in with people. We have to be thoughtful about not being so directive, but being more empathic. Poll question number 2, can these new skills that we all just talked about be developed in a hybrid learning environment? Basically, can we do this as well as traditional in-person? Let's turn it over to Alex.
To answer Tom's question, how would you define hybrid?
Yeah, I would define it as, it's complicated. The simple definition for me would be it's both, right? So it's some remote and some in person. But where it gets complicated is what happens if you have a team, Alex, where 4 of the employees are 100% remote, 4 are 100% in person, and 4 come into the office 3 days a week and work. My traditional view was the definition of that last one. You go in the office sometime and you work from home sometime. But hybrid really incorporates all 3, right? Every one of these bars. So that is a good question. I don't know. What do you think? I think there's a point here, Alex. Ziza said that I don't think we've specifically said here, the idea of forced days in the office. So you see this at JP Morgan, you see it at Goldman Sachs. It's like, thou shalt be in the office. And we've seen research. I've seen lots of different research where it's like CEOs want everybody in the office and the employees don't. They want to work from home. They like the flexibility and all of the great affordances of work from home. And the question really is does the CEO not trust them to get work done remotely? And so now there's this whole issue of leadership trust from the very top in these companies. And I'm starting to see more stuff being written about that. Good point, Aziza.
So, and you talk about empathy, self-awareness and inclusion and all the things, coaching and feedback. Again, these are all skills that are selfless, but the managers and you and all of us, we're all selfish. We're all selfish, self-centered, narcissistic people because our brain is designed to keep us alive. Now you have to fight. And I think, as Aziza said, I love the book, if you haven't read it yet, Thinking Fast and Slow by Dr. Kahneman. Wonderful book about the science of the brain, system 1, system 2. Again, we need to slow down, but our organizations don't allow people to slow down. So that's why the intentionality is gone. These are 4 components that are needed. Most leaders from an emotional intelligence point of view just have no idea that their hard wiring actually does the opposite to what the team wants. So we talk about inclusion and empathy and alignment and coaching and feedback, all the things that you said, but we don't really take into fact that our brains are telling us to do exactly the opposite. And until we do that, I truly believe there's going to be no zero to negligible improvement, because that understanding of, oh, wow, that makes sense now. I didn't know that I was wired that way. You wouldn't even know that you're not doing it. So just this puts some of the why to a lot of the things that Alan discussed. But unless we start with the why, unless we start with having a quick look at ourselves, then a lot of the challenges that we see, it's harder to overcome them. And the last one is the default equality bias. I talked about the stress. We're under so much stress. When stressed and in the places that we're at, we tend to treat people same or equal to for fear of negative consequences, i.e. our brain is telling us, look, just give everyone 30 minutes of my time. It's quicker and easier. And if I don't do that, more than likely you're going to get upset. You're literally, your brain's telling you to do the opposite of what is effective and what is needed to lead.